Think about it for a second. The movies you're streaming, the music on your go-to playlist, the show that everyone is talking about, chances are it came from the United States. American entertainment is just everywhere. It's this massive global force that kind of shapes what we talk about, what's trending, and even our culture.
And it feels so normal now, right? Almost inevitable. But this global dominance, it wasn't an accident, not at all. It was built very carefully, piece by piece, for over 100 years. So how did that happen? How did one country become the world's main storyteller? Let's dive in and break it all down.
Okay, so we're going to look at this in 4 big chunks. First, we've got the American story machine, Hollywood. Then we'll talk about the global soundtrack it created. After that, we'll get into the tech and business engine that powers the whole thing. And finally, we'll look at the lasting influence all of this has on, well, everyone.
All right, first up, the American story machine. Now, when I say that, your mind probably jumps straight to Hollywood, right? But it's so much more than just movies. It's a really finely tuned system for creating and, more importantly, exporting stories on a massive industrial scale. So, what's the secret sauce here? Well, a huge part of it is that they totally cracked the code on universal stories. Think about the plots you see over and over. Superheroes saving the world, the underdog who makes it big, that dreamer chasing success. These aren't just American ideas. They connect with people everywhere because they tap into things we all feel: hope, freedom, adventure. It just works no matter where you are. And look, this didn't just happen overnight. This has been a century in the making. From the very beginning, Hollywood was all about pushing the limits. Bigger budgets, bigger stars, and brand new tech. From the classic tearjerkers like The Wizard of Oz to something like Star Wars that just completely changed the game with special effects, it was always setting the bar for what a movie could even be on a global scale. But hey, it's not just about what you see on screen, right? The second piece of this whole puzzle is what you hear. America didn't just export movies, it created a global soundtrack that has pretty much defined pop culture for decades.
It all started with art forms that were uniquely American. You've got jazz. This bold, soulful, make-it-up-as-you-go sound was born in the American South, and it took off. It spread all over the world and became this powerful symbol of freedom and creativity.
And then, bam, mid-century, you get the rebellious energy of rock and roll exploding out of America. And that was way more than just music. It was a full-blown cultural movement that gave a voice to a whole new generation. And let me tell you, it didn't care about borders. And that evolution just keeps going. Fast forward to the late 20th century, and hip-hop comes out of America's inner cities. What started as this really local thing grew into a dominant global language. It's influencing everything. Music, yeah, but also fashion, the way we talk, art, you name it. And here's the thing. It was never just about the music styles. It was about the icons. The artists themselves. People like Elvis, Michael Jackson, Beyoncé, Taylor Swift. They became more than just musicians. They became global phenomena. Kind of like cultural ambassadors whose influence went way, way beyond just their songs. Okay, so you've got amazing stories and you've got iconic music. Great. But how do you actually get all that stuff to billions of people around the world? Well, that brings us to our third pillar. The incredibly powerful business and tech engine that drives this whole empire.
See, American companies didn't just get good at making content, they perfected the delivery system. It's like this chain. It starts with huge investments and big budgets. Then comes the slick global marketing to get everyone hyped. Then you've got these massive distribution networks making sure their movies and music are everywhere, in a theater in Tokyo, on a streaming service in Lagos. And that doesn't even count all the money from t-shirts and toys and all that licensing. And then streaming happened. In the 21st century, everything just hit hyperdrive. Streaming platforms, which were mostly pioneered by American companies, put this whole system on steroids. All of a sudden, they could just bypass the old gatekeepers, the TV networks in different countries, and beam their content directly into billions of homes, instantly, on demand. And if you want to understand the sheer scale of this, just look at this number, 270 million. That's how many people subscribe to Netflix alone. And that was just in early 2024. That is a level of distribution the world has never, ever seen before. It's basically a direct pipeline for American culture straight into the living rooms of people everywhere.
Okay, so let's put it all together. You've got these powerful, universal stories, you've got iconic, world-changing music, and you've got this unbeatable business machine. So what's the end result of all that? What's the long-term impact of this cultural dominance?
Well, it really comes down to this one key idea: soft power. Now, this isn't about armies or money. This is the power of attraction. Through its movies, its music, its shows, America basically exports its values, its ideas, its whole lifestyle. It quietly shapes what the rest of the world thinks is cool, what people dream about, and even how they view America itself.
So when you lay it all out, you can really see the formula. It's this potent mix of creative freedom, massive budgets, a deep tradition of storytelling, and the marketing muscle to just blast it out to the entire planet. It really is a machine that was, for a very long time, perfectly built for global dominance.
For 100 years, this American entertainment machine has been the undisputed champ. But things are definitely changing. You've got new creative powerhouses popping up, like in South Korea or Nigeria, and tech is connecting us all in ways we could have never imagined. So the big question now isn't just about America's influence anymore. It's who or what is going to write the next chapter of our shared global story.